You've seen a lot in, TNA's history. And in that first run of you, that first run for you in TNA, where would you say was like, the real prime time of TNA?
Probably like 2009, 2010. I mean, I think that's when everything was at its peak. Um, yeah, I don't, it's hard to say because it's kind of up and down, it's been like waves or everything. It wasn't like one giant arc or whatever, but yeah, I would say those years I think were the best, like around 2008, 2009, 2010.
The best for you as well, you think?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I just have really fond memories of being there, and like everyone was happy, everyone has a good time. Well, I shouldn't say everyone was happy because people were always unhappy for some reason, but I just remember that being just a really fun time.
That was also when the locker room was just like absolutely stacked with like the biggest names too.
Yeah, for sure. And everyone was like, yeah, this place is, we're right on the edge, we're right on the edge of like just becoming huge and everything, so.
Well, you're one of the pioneers of the X Division. Do you remember the conversations that you guys first had when the X Division was being talked about and when this first got introduced?
I don't, the X Division, I guess I didn't show up into the company until it was already 8 months old. And I think like, there was already like the group of Jerry Lynn, Loki, AJ Styles, Amazing Red. Those guys were kind of like the very first X Division. So I kind of came in when the next group, when it was like myself, Frankie Zarin, Michael Shane. So the X Division was kind of already a thing. And the only way they really explained it was that, it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. So I'm saying, all right, it just got to be like this new school style of wrestling.
And then like throwing in things like the Ultimate X, which just takes things to a whole new level. How do you prepare for an Ultimate X match?
I don't think you can. I remember the first Ultimate X match we did. They weren't even prepared. Like they put these posts, like they hadn't had the structure set up yet. So we went there the day before just to like see the structure, climb up on it, make sure, see how sturdy it is, just to get a feel for it. And I remember when they originally put like these posts in the corner posts, like just these long poles, and they had the cables going across. I remember Frankie climbed up, grabbed down the middle, and he tried to hang on it. And then all those posts just kind of bent in. Like we're like, oh
Oh,
no, what are we gonna do? So they were scrambling to figure out a way to, build this structure because they had this match advertised. And then what they finally ended up doing was using like the light trusses that go, or that hang above the ring. I think they use 4 pieces of those, and they used straps to strap it to the ring post, and that ended up being strong enough to. So we didn't even have any experience with it. We didn't even get to climb on the structure at all, get a feel for it at all. Basically, when the match happened, that was the first time we were climbing on that thing. So we were just kind
no.
of hoping that this thing stays together.
So how do you call any sort of spots if you don't know if it can support you or not?
Yeah, you just hope. That's all we had was hope that night.
Oh my gosh. Wow. But then the bar keeps getting raised higher and higher every single time there was an Ultimate X match, I feel like.
Yeah, and it's hard for the bar to get raised in a match like that too. But people somehow throughout the years, every time they've consistently been able to raise the bar, which it's amazing.
Was there something in any X Division match where someone pitched this idea to you and you're like, no, we're not going to do that. We can't do that.
What, the Ultimate X?
Sure. Or just any X Division match, maybe.
Oh, sure. Uh, that one was pretty nerve-wracking. I remember they did the Elevation X one time. I don't know. It was Rhino and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I remember when they were talking about that, I'm like, oh, dear God, I hope that's not going to be a regular thing. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, I remember like the clip I played back 1,000 times was Elix Skipper, doing the tightrope walk on the top of the cage. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I hope more people don't try that. Like that looked terrifying.
Yeah, for sure. That was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen just in life. So, yeah. Kudos to him, man, for pulling that off.
Well, kudos to all you guys for pulling all of this stuff off. I mean, the reason that wrestling is so awesome now in 2020 is because of a lot of the stuff that you guys did in the mid 2000s.
Well, That's kind of you to say. I appreciate that, but we wouldn't have been able to do any of this stuff if it wasn't for the guys before us, like the ECW and the WCW and all that stuff. All the cruiserweight stuff, all the wrestling around the world that influenced the X Division, because that's kind of what I feel like the X Division was, kind of like combined every style of wrestling around the world into this, mold of whatever, this new kind of style that we had that's a mix of everything. And we wouldn't have been able to do that without, everyone before us. So everything just kind of built on each other.